Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at, can I upgrade the screen in my Jaguar F Type? Short answer, yes. Long answer, no. And I know that doesn't answer anything at all, so you're going to have to stick around to see exactly what I'm talking about. If you're not already, please sub to the channel by hitting that button down below and stay tuned to see how this gets done. So depending on the age of your F Type, you're going to have one of two screens in your car. You're going to have this unit here with the buttons down the side, the older style infotainment system, or you're going to have the larger 10-inch screen without the buttons. It's all entirely touchscreen, whereas this one is a bit of a hybrid of both. It's touchscreen in the center, but the buttons down the side do a lot of the work. When we bought this car, we upgraded the screen. That might explain a few questions as to why I've just got one of these clanging around. I appreciate that's a bit weird. And when we bought the car, we knew we could upgrade this screen, but you can't do it to every Jaguar F Type. But wait, Mr. GB, you said the short answer is yes, I can upgrade my screen. Yes, that's true, and the long answer is still no. So what exactly am I talking about? The reason we had this screen put in is because it does Apple CarPlay. It will allow you to connect your phone as standard via a cable to the car for things like your Google or Apple Maps, or whatever your Waze, whatever your preferred provider is. But it allows the connection to your phone not via Bluetooth but via that Apple or Android CarPlay. It also has a much more sophisticated and up-to-date infotainment system, as we will see if the car can come into life. Glad to see these are still working. If you haven't already, check out my video on how to repair those if they stop working. And the infotainment system is just that much newer. It's in keeping with the last generation of Jaguar before they introduced the Pivi Pro infotainment system. And for me, it's just a lot more up to date, a lot more modern and in keeping with what this car should be like. Plus, you get all the added features of connecting your phone. And I have done a video on how to connect wirelessly to the Apple CarPlay, so go check that one out. But I'm waffling now with a lot of shameless plugs. So yes, you can update, it's in two pieces, but you can update your smaller style screen with CarPlay. There's a unit that you can put in behind the screen, goes in behind the scenes, and it converts everything. It's like, I think it's a few £100. I'll put something at the bottom of the screen now. It's a lot more cost effective than having the new screen put in. So you can buy that unit, convert your smaller, older style screen to be able to work with Apple CarPlay. But what about that screen? Why have I now got a bigger screen in my car? So how exactly have we got the bigger screen in this car? It came with that screen. It now has this screen. Long story short, I used a company called Land Rover Retrofits, and the chap who owns and runs that company, Mo, is just an absolute legend. He's on hand with help whenever you need it, and he specialises in OEM upgrades to Jaguars and Land Rovers, and that's exactly what this is. It is an OEM upgrade. He's taken off the old screen, the old surround. He's then replaced all of that with a new surround, a new OEM screen, and then he's had to modify this top part here. And all of that then gets coded on using the dealer level software, and this is why it's hard to do as an at-home DIY upgrade. You need to code the car to accept this, because it's not expecting to see that, it's expecting to see this. And this is very quickly where my knowledge of this runs out, because I don't have access to that software. I don't know how to use it. Mo is the man from Land Rover Retrofits. He's a phenomenal guy, very helpful, very friendly. This upgrade, at the time we purchased the car, and I don't know what the prices are doing now, so don't quote me on that, this cost £800 to have this screen put in, and that's parts and labour for all OEM parts. The only bit we didn't replace, and this is an option if you want to do it, is this top bit here, which I don't know if I'm going to be able to get out, but effectively this differs. So whilst this is different, the surround, this is also different, but what Mo can do is sort of just file a couple of mil off the back of this and it will fit in. And I think the specific variant for this screen of this bit of trim here is about £270. I'll pop it down the bottom there. For me, it's fine. You know, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It doesn't rattle, it doesn't look any different. For the sake of filing a couple of mil of plastic off the back of what I'm not going to see, and not spending £270, I'm more than happy with that. So, can every Jaguar F Type have the upgraded screen fitted? Due to the age of the software, and also I believe something to do with the wiring looms as well, there's only a very specific model year and VIN number range that can have this upgrade done, and it gets a little bit complicated, so I'll try my best to explain, but apologies if I'm making this harder than it needs to be. So model year 2018 onwards mostly came with the larger style screen in the car. So if your car is older than a model year 18, and this can include 2017 registered cars, so this is where I'm going to start getting quite complex. If you've got the new style front bumper, not the old one with the vertical slats on either side, but the new style with the horizontal and the facelifted seats, you've got a model year 18. Even if it's a 17 plate, you've got a model year 18 car. If your car is a model year 18 car with JCK in the last 8 digits of the VIN range, there's a very, very good chance you can have that screen retrofitted. If your car is older than that, sadly, no, you need to look at adding the CarPlay adapter for the older style, smaller screen. And if your car's newer than that, it will have this screen anyway. So there's only a very small range of cars that this applied to, and it seems to be on the crossover year between the preface and the facelift Jaguar F Types. Jaguar just put their hand in the parts bin and pulled out and put in whatever they had available, and there's no rhyme or rhythm as to what went on these. For example, my door handles are plastic. I much prefer the brushed metal ones that I feel go in keeping with the surround a lot better. But again, there's just no rhyme or reason as to what went on. But as long as you've got JCK in the last 8 digits of your VIN number, there's a very strong chance you can have this retrofitted. If any of you know of a way to do this at home without that dealer level software, I'd love to hear about it, because to me it just goes way over my head once you start getting involved with main dealer level software. It all gets a bit complex, and if I'm honest, a bit scary, and I don't want to mess anything up in fiddling around too much. And likewise, if you've undertaken the upgrade where you've fitted the CarPlay adapter to the older style screen, I'd love to hear about that as well, because it just, for me, it was just worthwhile having the larger screen. I wanted the bigger screen, the newer style interface, or like UI, user interface, on the more modern, larger screen. But I'd love to hear how other people are getting on with retrofitted CarPlay to the smaller screen, just for my own curiosity, if nothing else. So hopefully that's cleared up a few questions. That is one I get all the time in comments or on email or on DMs, and hopefully I can just clear this up, because for me it's very complex to try and explain without causing too much confusion. So I hope it's actually gone in the way it was intended, and it's made life easier for people to understand if they can do this to their car. For me, it's probably the best upgrade we've done to the car in our ownership, and it just makes using the car so much easier and more enjoyable. But as always guys, that's it for another video. If you're not already, please drop a sub to the channel by hitting that button down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Oh, let's not show everybody exactly where I live. That could be chaotic, couldn't it? Oh, I've just tried to flick over to my music instead, but I think I'm probably going to get absolutely rinsed for this. I've got, look at that mix, what's going on there? I think I need help.